This election now, a race between me and Congressman O'Rourke, presents a clear and stark choice for Texans between a liberal left-wing congressman and a strong conservative.
Right after he won the Republican nomination in his campaign for re-election on March 6th, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas released a radio ad mocking his Democratic opponent for using a Hispanic nickname.
I remember reading stories, liberal Robert wanted to fit in, so he changed his name to Beto and hit it with a grin.
Cruz's challenger is Congressman Beto O'Rourke from the border city of El Paso. His legal name is Robert, but he goes by Beto. And Cruz's ad basically implies that O'Rourke picked a Hispanic-sounding nickname to blend in the Latino community. CNN anchor Chris Cuomo asked Cruz about the ad, and he pointed out that Ted Cruz's legal first name is actually not Ted.
And look, your name is Raphael. You go by Ted. Your middle name is Edward. That's an anglicized version of it. He went the other way and has a more ethnic version of his name. Why go after it? You're both doing the same thing.
Well, listen, you're absolutely right. My name is Raphael Edward Cruz. In terms of the jingle, some of it is just have a sense of humor. I mean, you actually miss the title of the song, which is, if you're going to run in Texas, you can't run as a liberal man.
So Cruz essentially plays down the issue and says that it was just a bit of humor. But he has used similar arguments revolving around Latino identity and the Spanish language during previous campaigns. Let's take the last presidential race. It's February 13th, 2016, and Cruz is on stage with other candidates during a Republican primary debate. He's talking about immigration policy, and he directs his criticism towards Senator Marco Rubio of Florida.
Marco went on Univision in Spanish and said he would not rescind President Obama's illegal executive amnesty on his first day in office.
It sounds as if Cruz is implying that Rubio has one position for English-speaking voters and another one for Spanish-speaking voters, as if Rubio was hiding his true stance from those who can only speak English.
First of all, I don't know how he knows what I said on Univision because he doesn't speak Spanish. And second of all, the other point that I would make...
Marco, si quiere, díselo ahora mismo, díselo ahora. En español, si quieres.
It looks like Rubio hits a nerve here because Cruz appears a bit flustered, and Cruz has acknowledged before that his Spanish isn't very good.
Oh yeah, my Spanish is lousy.
Here's another example, this one from 2012. Cruz is running for a Senate seat and dismisses the idea of debating in Spanish against his Republican primary opponent, Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst.
I don't think we should do a debate in Spanish. Most Texans speak English. If we were in Mexico, if we were in Cuba, we'd do the debate in Spanish. Here in Texas, we should do it in English.
Then he explains why he thinks his opponent would want to debate in Spanish. And just like in the 2016 campaign, Cruz suggests that debating in Spanish would be a way to hide from voters who can only speak English.
There's actually a reason, Martha, that he's proposing it in Spanish, which is that my opponent, David Dewhurst, has skipped 35 debates all over the state of Texas. He has been hiding from grassroots voters. So he wants to do a debate in a language where the vast majority of primary voters don't understand it, because he doesn't want voters to hear about his record.
It's worth noting that Cruz has also been on the receiving end of controversial comments about Latino identity and culture. In 2015, Bloomberg anchor Mark Halperin received such backlash for an interview he did with Cruz that he issued an apology, which Cruz accepted. It sounded as if Halperin was trying to evaluate how genuine Cruz's Cuban-American identity was.
Your last name is Cruz and you're from Texas. Just based on that, should you have appeal to Hispanic voters? When you filled out your application to Princeton, to Harvard Law School, did you list yourself as an Hispanic? You got a favorite Cuban food, Cuban dish? You like Cuban music? Do you have a favorite Cuban singer? Finally, I wanted to give you the opportunity to directly welcome your colleague, Senator Sanders, to the race, and I'd like you to do it, if you would, en español.
And as for the Cruz campaign ad mocking Beto O'Rourke's name as not genuine, the Democratic candidate actually replied with a photograph that shows that he's been called Beto for quite a while.